breathe that air, you feel it all over your skin. It's good, and it's sort of feeling you want to give somebody a big hug like that, or one of those little pats makes you feel good. And it's that sort of touching I want to talk about today.
The prosecution said his sexual interest in this one alleged victim was not an isolated aberration. The jury would hear from 3 other women who alleged that they too were abused by the children's entertainer when they were young. The jury was told this was not about jumping on the post-Savile bandwagon. The evidence, the prosecution said, shows that Rolf Harris had a sexual interest in underage girls and a tendency to use his celebrity status with impunity.
Because it helps you to understand the sort of touching that doesn't make you feel too good. Can I ask you something? Natasha, who owns your body?
In court, the prosecutor read out damning impact statements from the women he had abused when they were young girls. The first was 7 when he indecently assaulted her. She wrote, "He used and abused me to such a degree that it made me feel worthless." Another victim wrote, "I live in a constant state of anxiety. What Mr. Harris took from me was my very essence." A third victim wrote, "I carried what Rolf Harris did to me for most of my life. It took away my childhood." And the fourth victim, "He treated me like a toy that he had played with for his own pleasure."
It's my body.
Absolutely. But sometimes people do things to one another which don't make them feel good. It's like, no, I don't know why I don't like that, but I'm not too sure about that at all. I don't want that to keep going. I want that to stop. That's a no feeling. Can you think of some feelings, some touches that give you a no feeling?
1, 2, 3, 4, my body's nobody's body but mine. You run your own body, let me run mine.
Grab that position about there, that's good, that's good.
Rolf, I know that the Australians aren't affected by hierarchy and things like that, but I did notice that you kissed Sir Jim's ring when he came in. Is this an exception for you?
It was somewhere for the bishop.
I mean, we go back a long time. What was it, several weeks ago, wasn't it, when we first met?
Several weeks, yeah.
You've been playing your records a long time, though.
Well, you played a couple of them over the years in the 60s.
1,000 times have I played.
Yeah.
Don't be cruel.
Again, my body's nobody's body but mine. You run your own body, let me run mine. My body's nobody's body but mine. You run your own body, let me run mine. My body's nobody's body but mine. You run your own.
The disgraced entertainer Rolf Harris was asked to leave the grounds of a primary school after being spotted there yesterday and was reported to the police. The convicted sex offender was released from jail 2 years ago. Tonight, the Ministry of Justice is investigating whether he has breached any conditions of being on the sex offenders register. Max Montel has the details.
It was inside this primary school that the convicted child abuser Rolf Harris was seen. The disgraced entertainer back on tabloid front pages, photographed inside the grounds waving and smiling at children in their classroom. How do you feel?
I mean, did feel very good about it. Not very safe for the children, but the school managed it well, you know, the principal, he managed it well. It was a bit worrying initially, but in the end we got emails from our principal and all that they're taking care of it and stuff like that, so we're fine with that, yeah.
In a statement, Oldfield Primary School told us that an uninvited individual was asked to leave the school premises yesterday afternoon. And as a precaution, the incident was reported to the police.
I'm Jake, the pig, with his...
A singer, painter and TV presenter, Rolf Harris was a familiar face on British TV screens for decades. Trusted to teach children how to swim, even campaigning to warn kids of the dangers of child abuse.
You're giving them advice, go and tell an adult that you trust.
And he even painted with the Queen. But in 2014, everything changed, slowly emerging from Southwark Crown Court as a convicted child abuser. It was eerily quiet as he walked away after being found guilty of 12 indecent assaults, including one on an 8-year-old girl.
In individual cases, there will be an assessment of what restrictions there need to be. And in the case of sex offenders, that might include a prohibition on approaching locations where, for example, children may be present.
At his home this afternoon, a short walk from the school, he was not available for comment.
Hello.
Hi, I just wondered if Mr. Harris was available. I just wanted to ask him a question. Is he making any comment at all about the school? Police said tonight no offence had been committed, but had given Rolf Harris advice about not coming on to the school grounds. Rags Martel, ITV News, Maidenhead.
My goodness gracious.
What do you think of that?
I have never been...
Well, you've never looked at it yet. What are you talking about? Oh, you're watching it upside down,
I'm
sorry.
looking at it upside down. I've got Antipodean eyes and I can see it upside down. What do I see? I see strong character lines. I see liquid brown eyes. I see the firm jutting chin. All together makes
nothing like
a horrible sight.
In due time, my sister will eventually share her story and experiences through the proper channels with a view to helping other children who have suffered at the hands of adults, whether they are on the telly or sat beside them watching it. Hopefully, that way some good can be brought from this sad case.
The judge jailed Harris for 5 years and 9 months. He will serve half of that before he is freed automatically.
It was inside this primary school that the convicted child abuser Rolf Harris was seen. The disgraced entertainer back on tabloid front pages, photographed inside the grounds waving and smiling at children in their classroom.
After more than 50 years as a much-loved celebrity, Rolf Harris's name is the latest addition to the sex offenders register.
Oh, there's a lot of bluffers in this game, I'll tell you. Rolf Harris, what the fucking hell can that man do? Tie me kangaroo down, what's all that about, the dirty bastards? What's all that about, tying kangaroos down? 2 little boys, what the fucking hell's going on?
Yeah, I mean, we go back a long time. What was it? Yeah, I mean, we go back a long time. We go back a long time. Yeah, I mean, we go back a long time. What was it? Several weeks ago, wasn't it, when we first met?
Weeks, yeah.
You've been playing your records a long time, though.
Well, you played a couple of them over the years in the 60s.
1,000 times have I played.
Yeah.
Don't be cruel.